1, Channel 2, Channel 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 1, Channel 2,
Coming up live at 5 on Star City News, we have Bailey Hurley live at the death penalty debate at the City Campus Union and a new way to get in touch with emergency services in Lancaster County.
And an update on a fire that tragically killed a family of 6. All that coming up now. Good evening and welcome to Star City News. I'm Lauren Reams.
And I'm Michael Snow. Technological advancements have influenced just about every profession imaginable.
And this winter, the Lincoln Police Department will show some major technological advancements. Live in the newsroom, Star City's Michael Dixon has more.
The best way to contact the police leading up to the last couple of years was by dialing 911, but now you can text 911 and perhaps get the same results. Citizens in certain communities across the country now have the ability to notify 911 of emergencies with simple text messages. In Lincoln, a new telecommunication system featuring the same technology will be introduced this winter. But with situations as serious as 911 emergencies, some wonder about the reliability of text messages.
One of the problems with incoming text messages is that they usually don't have location information. Unlike a telephone call that comes either with subscriber information from the landline, or in the case of a mobile phone, it comes with enhanced 911 location information.
In a world where smartphones and other devices are used in countless different ways, voice calling has become a thing of the past for those in younger generations, and it's no surprise that texting 911 is now an option for some.
It's that easy. All you have to do is pick up your phone and text 911 and tell them what your emergency is. But at the same time, keep in mind that a text message is very difficult to figure out who you are, where you are, and the extent of your emergency. And police dispatchers almost every single time, if it's possible, would prefer for you to call.
It's very useful for people that have hearing impairments. It can be very useful in limited number of situations where someone that needs to contact 911 can't use their voice. For example, they need to remain silent. They're hiding, for example. But in all other circumstances, a phone call to 911 is far more efficient.
And while Lincoln may be considered by some as a smaller community, Cassidy reminded us of the importance of 911 dispatchers and the drawback of the added responsibilities for these dispatchers who already have an important and difficult job.
Now, currently you can still text 911. The only thing is you'll get something back that simply gives you the instructions to call 911. Once this goes into effect in December, or at least this winter, you'll be able to text 911 and get further assistance. Reporting live from the Star City Newsroom, I'm Michael Dixon.
Thanks, Michael. Lancaster County is adding more hours for voting and registration. The office is now open from 7:30 a.m. until 5:30 p.m. Monday through Friday until the end of the election. Lancaster County Election Commissioner Dave Shively says he wants to give voters more opportunities and make sure the wait time in the office is quicker. And early voting started Monday, and in some places the lines are very long. Time is the reason the voters are enthusiastic about getting to the polls earlier, as citizens don't want to put it off until Election Day and deal with longer wait times. Dallas, Texas election officials have even doubled the number of polling location and staff to ease the transition. And new StarTran bus routes will go into effect on November 1st as part of the Transit Development Plan. Routes have been restructured for more convenience for the riders. Several routes will also run later in the evening and see added frequency throughout the day. StarTran says the changes were requested by the public and hope they increase ridership.
An alliance of Lincoln's largest employers is withholding their support for an electric rate increase. The Lincoln Employers Coalition says they aren't happy about the increase, however, aren't opposing it either. The proposal would increase the electric rates for each of its 7 classes of customers. LES estimates the increase will generate over $7.5 million and will be voted on by City Council in December. A court hearing originally set for Monday for Husker receivers coach Keith Williams has been delayed a month. Williams was arrested in August after a car accident in Lincoln and was later charged with his 3rd offense, DUI and careless driving. Williams' attorney requested the continuance, saying both parties haven't completed discovery. After no objections from the state, Lancaster County Judge Timothy Phillips scheduled the hearing for November 21st. Lincoln ultramarathon runner Pete Kastelnick finished his run across the United States Monday. Kastelnik started his lone race September 12th in San Francisco, and after 6 weeks, 12 states, and 3,067 miles later, finished in New York City. The 29-year-old financial analyst averaged 72 miles per day and took only 1 day off. Kastelnik is now an unofficial Guinness World Record holder for fastest crossing of American on foot. The previous record was 46 days. Coming up next on Star City News, we have an update on a fire that took the lives of a family of 6.
And Obamacare is under fire once again because of a rate hike.
Coryell Hall Learning Commons. This new addition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
The College of Journalism and Mass Communications is the perfect place for higher learning. Students have the chance to study journalism, broadcast journalism, and ad PR. Our distinguished students have the best possible resources with equipment, professors, and internships. Coming soon is the first of its kind, interactive digital media hub. The future is bright at the CoJMC. Why not make yours too? Enroll today. Visit journalism.unl.edu.
In 2012, the national percentage of adults reporting that they drank too much alcohol before driving was 1.9%. In that same year, Nebraska adults reported 3.4%, nearly twice as much as the national average. People know they shouldn't drive, yet they still do. People go out and plan on coming back home. But as we all know, everything doesn't always go as planned. Inform those around you about the risks of drunk driving.
What would we do if we won the Powerball jackpot?
That's daunting to think about.
The music may change, but we'll still be there. Music, sports, and more. 90.3 KRNU.
The cause of a fire that resulted in 6 deaths on October 20th has been determined. According to the Cass County Sheriff's Office, the fire was started in the living room fireplace. Embers from the fireplace started the fire that resulted in the deaths of Michael and Michelle Spear and their 4 children. A neighbor reported the fire, but crews could not get inside the home to save the family. Investigators determined the deaths were due to smoke inhalation. The Murray community will hold a pink out on Halloween in memory of the family. Wear Yellow Nebraska, an organization started by a cancer survivor, has paid for cancer patient cab rides in Omaha for 4 years. Their good deed is now spreading to Lincoln. On November the 1st, the group is launching the service that will allow nurses and cancer patients a free ride to the hospital. Last year, the organization paid for over 1,000 rides in Omaha and hopes to expand the program statewide in the future. A New Jersey man jumped off a bridge with his 2 children late Monday afternoon. The man was pronounced dead at the scene with his 2 children alive but injured. The unidentified man was in a domestic dispute before taking the children, according to a local police report. When police showed up to dispute, a woman told officers that she argued with her husband, who threatened to harm the 2 children. Shortly after the argument, he took the 1- and 3-year-old children. Authorities say they tracked the car using the GPS signal on the man's phone, and police found the car on the shoulder of the interstate when the man found him dead with his 2 children conscious but injured. The children are recovering from non-life-threatening injuries.
And almost 10 years ago, the military put out an offer to thousands of California National Guard soldiers to re-enlist for 6 years, go fight overseas, and in exchange get $15,000+ in bonuses. Nearly 10,000 soldiers took advantage of the bonuses, and now the Pentagon is demanding they return that money because some of the soldiers did not qualify for them even though they did re-enlist. Now, some former soldiers are currently paying the government over $600 a month. And one of the most scrutinized parts of Obama's presidency is under fire again. Obamacare premiums are set to go up 22% in 2017. And the benchmark silver plan will cost an average of $296 per month for the average 27-year-old enrollee. In 2016, the premiums rose only 7.2% for comparison. Now, these rates won't go into effect for all those who use Obamacare, as around 85% of enrollees receive subsidies, which lower the rates significantly. And a worker strike at Harvard has come to an end after 3 weeks. Cafeteria workers returned to work after trying to avoid an increase in their health costs and earn higher salaries. 750 cafeteria workers confirmed that their terms have been reached and they would return to work as early as this week. The wages of those workers increased by $5,000 from $30,000 to $35,000 a year. And Lauren, fall is finally setting in. Some cooler temperatures might be in the future.
And Cody will have more on our weekly outlook after the break.
Later on in sports, I'll tell you about Osweiler's homecoming with the Broncos and which NFL star is retiring.
Look for a way to give back to the community. The Nebraska's Humane Society Pelock Pet Adoption Center is located off of 70th Street and Highway 2. The Capital Humane Society is always looking for cat, dog, and critter lovers to help comfort and play with the animals as they find their forever homes. Stop in or go to www.capitalhumanesociety.org to learn how you can give back to the community today.
Good evening, Lincoln, with your Star City weather forecast. I'm Cody Carlin. Well, it was a warm morning that transitioned to a warm afternoon, and well, it's still pretty warm this evening. We're at 72 degrees under partly cloudy skies. A strong southeast wind at 20 miles an hour, really drawing in that moisture and warm air from the south, and we're actually quite a bit above average. Our almanac for today will show just that. Our high was 11 degrees above that 62 degrees average, but check out this low this morning, 53 degrees, much warmer than what we have been seeing just a few weeks ago, and it's going to continue this trend of warm above average weather for about the next week or so. And tonight we actually do have a chance for some unsettled weather, some showers and storms moving through this evening. It's going to be a mild evening once again, 55 degrees, but the timing of those storms looks to be about 9 p.m. to about 1 in the morning, so it shouldn't interrupt your plans too much if you do have any plans for this evening. But the big story, well, that's out east. It's the World Series. The first game of the World Series is tonight. First pitch is at 7 p.m. The Chicago Cubs taking on the Cleveland Indians. This game is in Cleveland tonight. It's going to be pretty chilly. Partly cloudy skies, 48 degrees, but notice that wind, northwest wind at 10 miles an hour. It's going to be drawing in a lot cooler air from the Great Lakes, actually, and that's going to make it feel quite a bit cooler, so you'll probably see quite a few people wearing jackets this evening on TV. And then right back at home, it's going to be a great day again tomorrow. High of 68 degrees under mostly sunny skies, real light wind at 5 to 10 miles an hour, and then that's really going to kick off a great stretch of weather. Here's your 7-day forecast. Can't get any better than that. 70s through much of the week. The only exception is really Sunday and Tuesday. We do have a chance to get back down into the 60s, but we are way above average for this time of year. And Lauren and Michael, we're actually seeing temperatures that we should be seeing really in the beginning of September rather than in late October. So not fall quite yet.
Now, is this warm weather going to continue, or could we see fall really kind of kick in Nebraska in the future?
It's really looking like right now we're in a strong, long warming trend, so it could continue probably for at least another week or maybe even more.
That's great. And Michael, you mentioned earlier that there's a baseball game later.
The Chicago Cubs are in the World Series. They haven't won since 1908, haven't been there since 1945. And Carly's going to tell you about a big addition back to their lineup after the break.
One wrong choice can make you feel like the walls are closing in. Sometimes, you don't know where to turn. Student Legal Services is here for you when those situations strike. SLS attorneys offer free legal advice and representation to registered UNL students. Don't let one wrong decision ruin your future plans. Contact Student Legal Services at 402-472-3350 or visit our office at the UNL Student Union.
Look for a way to give back to the community. The Nebraska's Humane Society Pelock Pet Adoption Center is located off of 70th Street and Highway 2. The Capital Humane Society is always looking for cat, dog, and critter lovers to help comfort and play with the animals as they find their forever homes. Stop in or go to www.capitalhumanesociety.org to learn how you can give back to the community today.
Back to Star City News. Two Nebraska senators debated on the death penalty this afternoon at the city campus in the Union. Now, talking to voters about why they think Nebraska should join the 19 states on keeping or repealing the death penalty.
Star City's Bailey Hurley was at the debate and has more on the story.
Thanks, Lauren and Michael. The debate ended about 5 minutes ago, and over 150 people from around the community came to voice their concerns and hear what Senators Colby Kowash and Bo McCoy had to say about the death penalty. Now, Senator Kowash wanted to make sure that he debunked the rumor, the myth actually, that it's cheaper to kill an inmate rather than to keep them imprisoned for life, saying it costs about $14 million of taxpayer money per execution.
We have a system that is not fair to victims, for example. If you were a victim's family member who wanted to see your loved ones pay the ultimate price, the state was not making good on that promise. And I have asked myself, as someone who is interested in justice, where is the justice?
The procurement ability for states on the death penalty drug cocktail approach that Senator Kowash mentioned earlier. The bar that was put there in order for us to be able to import, and the only reason we have to import, or some states have had to import that 3-drug cocktail in most states, is because the Department of Justice and the Food and Drug Administration has basically made it impossible for those drugs to be compounded or mixed here in the United States to carry out justice.
Now, Senator McCoy ended his statement saying that justice comes first, deterrence comes second, and without the death penalty, there is no deterrence. Also saying he is completely confident that Nebraska will vote to repeal on November 8th. Now, when you head out to the ballots, to the booths on November 8th, in 2 weeks, right from today, you have to make sure the wording is a little bit crazy. Now, if you vote to repeal, that means that you are for the death penalty. And if you vote to retain, that means that you are against it and want to abolish it from Nebraska. Reporting live from the newsroom, Bailey Hurley, Star City News. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Bailey. And Michael, I hear it's a big day in sports.
There's a lot going on. We have NBA tip-off. We had some football last night, and the Cubs and Indians first pitch for the World Series. The Cubs could have a little Schwar bombs in their lineup today. We're going to throw it over to Carly with sports.
First, we start with some breaking news at the NFL and UNL. A former Husker kicker, Josh Brown, was released from the New York Giants team today. The story came into light last week when documents were released that show Brown admitting to abusing his former wife. The case was in 2015, but the NFL says they just received this new evidence, and Brown has been released. And the Huskers are 7-0. Nebraska beat Purdue 27-14 on Saturday, despite an interception and some missed big opportunities. With the win, the Huskers moved to the 7th in the polls, but just this week's opponents, the 11th-ranked Wisconsin Badgers. This will be a big test for the Nebraska offense, facing the country's third-best defense. Nebraska coach Mike Riley says getting more first downs and having an offensive rhythm will be crucial on Saturday.
Especially offensively, right now, the way we've been the last couple of weeks, I think our key will be playing more consistently. You know, being more consistent with the runs, more consistent throwing the football, and when we get a shot at a big play, let's make it.
Riley says this is the best team they will play so far, and he thinks they have what it takes. And Monday Night Football left people saying, Houston, we have a problem. The Broncos broke a 2-game skid with a 27-9 win over the Texans last night. Texans quarterback Brock Osweiler just couldn't hold his own versus his former team, the Denver Broncos. The Texans didn't look too bad early on with a 6-0 lead. Fast forward to the third quarter, though, when Denver's Darian Stewart punches the ball loose from Alfred Blue, and Todd Davis is there with the fumble recovery. And that stout Bronco defense didn't stop there. Osweiler struggled all night, and on the first play of the fourth quarter, he drops back to pass, and with nobody around him, he just fumbles the ball. Denver recovers, and it turns into a field goal. On fourth down, last chance for the Texan, Osweiler's frustrating night comes to an end after Derek Wolfe bats down the pass, improving the Broncos to 5-2 and dropping the Texans to 4-3. Texans players were also shocked to hear after the game that their former Houston running back, Arian Foster, is retiring. Houston's all-time leader in rushing yards announced his retirement during Monday night's game, saying he knew it was his time. After spending part of his season with the Miami Dolphins, Foster posted to Twitter his NFL farewell at the early age of 29. And the Cleveland Indians and Chicago Cubs begin one of the most anticipated World Series tonight. On one hand, you have the Cleveland Indians, who have not won a series in 67 years. Not to be outdone, though, by the Chicago Cubs, who have not won in 108 years. The Cubs got a big boost to their offense as slugger Kyle Schwarber returns to the lineup for the first time since he suffered a torn ACL in the third game of the season. Schwarber is the Cubs' all-time leader in postseason home runs. First pitch is at 7 o'clock tonight. John Lester takes on the mound for the Cubs and opposing Corey Kluber for the Indians. Also tonight, the NBA is back. Right across the street from the Indians game, the reigning champs Cavaliers will host the New York Knicks. The Cavs will hang up their championship banners, while down south, Kevin Durant and the Warriors open the year in San Antonio against the Spurs. I think Durant's debut with the Warriors may outshine the Cavaliers championship ceremony, but we'll see. And tomorrow in Lincoln, it's senior night for the girls soccer team. The Huskers, ranked 7th in the Big Ten, will take on Iowa. They've won 10 games this season, tied 3, and lost 5. 4 seniors on the team will be honored: Courtney Clausen, Caroline Flynn, JC Johnson, and Sydney Miramontaz. You can catch the game at 7:05 at Hibner Stadium. And that's it for sports. After the break, Taylor Swift is celebrating a really big anniversary, and Bill Murray won a prestigious award. Kennedy will have the details all next in entertainment.
Welcome to the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons. This new addition will soon become the scholastic hub of City Campus. Enjoy the vibrant learning environment designed to accommodate and promote academics. The Commons also has a number of private study rooms to gather and collaborate with classmates and friends. Come visit the Adele Coryell Hall Learning Commons at Love Library today.
Welcome back to Star City News. I'm Kennedy Stillwater. Arguably the funniest man alive was honored with the Mark Twain Prize for American Comedy.
I'm not really processing it too well. I'm kind of dazed by it. You know, it's sort of like winning the lottery or something incredibly lucky.
Murray started his career in comedy at the UCB Improv Theater in Chicago, became a player in the second season of Saturday Night Live, and went on to star in some of the most successful comedies, such as Groundhog's Day, Caddyshack, and of course, Ghostbusters. Murray made a cameo in the all-female reboot this summer, reminding everyone he ain't afraid of no ghost. And Tim McGraw and Faith Hill, the hashtag relationship goals couple, were guest judges on The Voice last night.
Like you're starting to walk in mud. Okay. You're just like getting deeper and deeper in the mud. Real gritty with the drunk arm. And then you walk like this. You're like, yeah, I'm walking through mud. Hell yeah.
See, when I do it, you look cool. I just look like...
I think I just threw my back out.
McGraw has released a new album every year since his career took off, but it has been 5 years since Faith Hill has released anything. But obviously, she still has it. The country royalty couple are set to start their Soul to Soul tour on November 4th. From reality show to actual reality, Jay-Z will be performing in Cleveland, Ohio at a Get Out and Vote concert before the election to urge young people to get out and vote. And I have to bring up Tim McGraw one more time. Taylor Swift's self-titled album turned 10 years old yesterday. The album included chart toppers such as Tim McGraw, Teardrops on My Guitar, and Our Song.
Think Tim McGraw, I hope you think my favorite song. Someday you'll turn your radio on. I hope it takes you back to that place.
Congrats, Taylor Swift. You've kept all your fans along the way. It seems like just yesterday I was sitting in front of my Dell desktop on MSN thinking how much these songs spoke to me. But looking back, I was 11 years old and I didn't have a guitar to cry on. That's all for entertainment. After the break, Mason will fill you in on the latest in social media. For Star City News, I'm Kennedy Stillwater.
What would we do if we won the Powerball jackpot?
That's daunting to think about.
The music may change, but we'll still be there. Music, sports, and more. 90.3 KRNU.
The College of Journalism and Mass Communications is the perfect place for higher learning. Students have the chance to study journalism, broadcast journalism, and ad PR. Our distinguished students have the best possible resources with equipment, professors, and internships. Coming soon is the first of its kind, Interactive Digital Media Hub. The future is bright at the CoJMC. Why not make yours too? Enroll today. Visit journalism.unl.edu.
Welcome back. Chris Hemsworth took to Instagram yesterday addressing the divorce rumors surrounding him and wife Elsa Pataki. In the post, the Thor star and his wife are seen sailing at sea happily in love. While the King of Asgard did use his hammer to smash the rumors from misleading media outlets, he also reassured himself asking, "Honey, you still love me, right?" From the leader of Asgard to the leader of the free world, Barack Obama kicked off his last 100 days this week with some serious business, saying bye-bye to all those haters.
President Obama will go down as perhaps the worst president in the history of the United States! Exclamation point at real Donald Trump. Well, at real Donald Trump, at least I will go down as a president.
Ooh, the phone. As much as I dropped my phone, I definitely won't be doing that on purpose. That's all I have for social media today. Michael, Lauren, back to you.
And thanks for tuning in today on Star City News. I'm Michael Snow.
And I'm Lauren Reams.